Hey, congratulations for clicking that play button. I must commend you that you have impeccable taste for content, no? And who can blame you? In this video, we're going to learn the selling secrets of an introverted eight-figure online entrepreneur and how he went from cringe-worthy, outdated selling tactics to a hands-off selling system that does the selling for him. So in this video, okay, in this interview, we'll have none other than Fibo Lim, no? Fibo is the CEO of Astrabay Digital, the founder of Business Growth Mentorship, with a community of around 4,000 entrepreneurs, business owners, and sales professionals. He specializes in digital marketing and social media advertising and has built an eight-figure-a-year business. That's just code for he's not selling face to face anymore. His sales process has been awarded a 2 Comma Club Award, wherein his sales process has generated over $1 million in revenue. Dollars yan, ah. Now he's on a mission to help entrepreneurs grow their business online without chasing prospects, being judged, and experiencing rejections. So we're so happy to have you, Fibo. Welcome to the call.
Hello, Alan. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's an honor to be in front of your audience and share with you everything that I know about marketing online.
Yeah, and sabi mo yan, I will take everything that you will give us. So
Yeah,
just to start off, something easy to just to get you to know you a little better, no?
sure,
Um,
sure. Go ahead.
Question number one, hard hitting agad tayo, no? What's your biggest pet peeve?
Yeah, but by the way, what do you mean by Alan, pet peeve? Para I can
Sure.
make sure
Something
I got
siguro
it right.
na that annoys you, na pag nangyayari, naiinis ka, naiirita ka.
Okay. Um, I'm really a person who works alone, so very small noises distracts me a lot. Even sleeping, even I easily get distracted a lot. So kaya I tell my partner, I tell my basta pumasok ako sa home office ko, you're not allowed to knock, you're not allowed to like just disturb me. Kahit nasa room ako, you're not allowed to do that because pag na-distract ako, like, masiring araw ko. So yeah.
Right, right. Very interesting. So, consistent nga tayo sa introvert and working
Yeah,
best
sometimes.
alone. So,
Yeah.
next question before we get to the meat. What's the last new thing that you've tried?
Mm. Um, you know what? Actually, etong affiliate launch na we're doing, this is the last new thing that I've tried, and I believe na ano siya, parang ito yung napili ko because it has been something na I really wanted to do
Mm.
since back then. Even when I saw the tribe do it, even before that pa lang, parang gusto ko, what if I have this affiliate launch? Kumbaga pangarap ko magka-affiliate launch, no? It's
Mm.
just that takot ako who will, listen to me, who will promote for me. Can I do it? Do I have the capacity to do it? Do I have the credibility to do it? All of those things are really hitting me. And then, a few months ago, parang sabi ko, okay, I think we're ready. Let's try doing it. And this is it. Like, ito yung grabe mixed emotions kasi kaba at the same time I still have doubt kasi I've never done something like this before. But and despite the fear, I just did it. The only way for you to know, and the only way for you to be able to counter that fear is to be able to just do it, and that's how you just get confident.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's interesting, no? I think it's a good way to start in a way because like when we say all the awards, $1 million in sales funnels, eight-figure entrepreneur, may automatic assumptions dun eh, that everything you do turns into gold. But seeing you doing something that you're not comfortable
Yeah.
in, despite your success, I feel that it gives permission as well for people to acknowledge that even if whatever stage there will always be doubt, and where they're at, it's okay. It's just part of the journey. So yeah, that's a great answer.
Right. Right.
And with that, I think that's a perfect transition to understanding. We know a little more about you now. No, with your style and even your being vulnerable with the start of this call. Now, I mentioned earlier about yung cringe-worthy tactics. No, I know a little bit about you because of your background. No, saan ka nagsimula. But I think that's something that would be awesome to learn para sa mga viewers natin. Can you tell us how you got started into selling online? And perhaps a little bit of what you did before you sold things online.
Yeah, 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 correct. So, um, you know, I just want a quick backstory lang na all I thought when I was in college, and that was my path for success because that's what my mom told me. Every time I point the house, mom, how do we get that? And sabi niya, mag-aral ka na mabuti. How do we get that? Mag-aral ka mabuti. So, yun yung path na I followed up until I was invited to network marketing. Dun open yung mind ko na, yeah, I understand things. I saw the world even when I was still in college back then. And that's how yung interest ko in learning like traditional education decreased, and then yung interest ko in learning business started to increase. No, to make the long story short, I was selling a lot of things like relo, t-shirts. Even I was even selling junk foods in my classroom. I've sold a lot of things, and nakakatawa. Actually, I'm gonna share this in one of my webinars. It's the first time that I'm sharing this because I'm back, like looking back sa mga photos ko, like 2014, I was selling a watch na pang babae, and I was selling it for like 300 pesos, and like comment below comment below if gusto nyo bumili. Okay, and I was so happy because there were like 2 likes, okay? Me and my mom. So, and there were no comments. And people were messaging me like, my discount ba? Like, that's 300. Why? Anyways, nakakatawa because I started selling a lot of things, insurance, network marketing, nagbenta ako ng condo sa mall, but all of them failed. And realize, akala ko kasi na I need to look for that right vehicle to be able to be successful. The problem pala was that my skills in marketing. So no matter what business I will be in, I will still fail because I don't know how to sell, I don't know how to market. And when I was in network marketing, so tinuruan kami paano mag-strangering. So literally, I was talking to strangers, I was talking on the mall, and it felt every day was very heavy for me dahil hindi ako comfortable eh. Parang I just have to do this para lang kumita ako ng pera, but it's not really something that I love to do. And that's how transition talaga to like, what is there a better way or is there a different way on how to sell things? So yun, nag-search ako how to make money online, how to do this, how to do that. And to make the long story short, I bought courses and trainings about online marketing. Dun open yung mind ko. I started to implement, and slowly I started to learn online marketing. It was a hard journey at first talaga because number one, hindi ako techie. So if you don't know, like I didn't even know how to use Facebook that much. Like if you look at my posts, I don't usually post because I don't know how to post. I don't know how to add a friend. I don't know that stuff. Because like number one, I'm an introvert, so like I don't really have a lot of friends compared to an extrovert. And second is like I'm not a social person. So the tech stuff is I thought na I won't be successful dahil di ako techie. And doon ko na-realize na, for you to be successful online pala, it's not about having or being good at tech. It's about being good in marketing. And marketing is a learnable, trainable, and transferable skill. So that's the good thing about that. So that's a quick story of how I got started, selling online. It's
Did
a
you
way. Yeah, sorry. Let me just
did
add.
you feel that? Yeah, go. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So, ano sabi ko? Yeah. So how I really got started was like, I just wanted to get out. I just wanted to sell things, pero doing it without rejections, without chasing prospects, without being judged. By the way, I want to insert the story. I forgot to share this. I started selling online without using my name. Okay. So I was using a general name and just hiding behind the screen because I didn't want to be embarrassed na, uy, si Fibo, ano naman itong binibenta na to, diba? The reason why nag-transition ako online, naubos na kasi yung audience ko, like, nasunog na sila. At first, binentahan ko ng relo. Ngayon, network marketing. Ngayon, insurance. Ngayon, condo. Ngayon, ano na naman, diba? So, that's really, sabi ko, wala na akong other way. Like, I just have to run ads. I have to yun nga, reach new prospects without me showing my face, without me like presenting, hey, this is Fibo. So yeah, it it was a fun journey.
Interesting, interesting. And I like that, no? Kasi parang I felt that, did you feel that, for example, that the internet, the way of selling online or marketing digitally, did you feel that, kumbaga, it spoke to you? Kasi I would imagine, I can relate with your story with yung introverts. Actually, parang napansin ko, marami ding introverts. I think parang nagiging escape route natin yung digital because we can do this at home. But at the same time, I felt like if wala yung internet, like for me personally, I'm not
Mm.
sure what I'd be doing right now, or if I'd be happy doing what I'm doing. How big of an impact do you think yung timing, that being born at the age na at the time na may internet?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, siguro yun yung sinasabi na luck exists. Yung luck is like preparation plus opportunity. It's just that
Mm,
we're prepared to have this skill, and the
mhm,
opportunity is just in front of us ngayon.
mm,
So um, it really, the internet is how can I explain this? Like it's, I would say it's very life changing, um, because parang ganito. Just look at the speakers before, like sila Bo, sila Chinky. Assuming walang internet, ano ba ginagawa nila before? They were just jumping from one province, one city to another,
mm,
sharing their message. So the
yeah.
only way for you to do that back then was to spend a lot of time jumping from airplane to airplane, city to city. And Chinky had like 500, 400 talks in a year. Ngayon, he's not doing that anymore. All he has to do is just shoot one video and reach the entire world. So just imagine you're still giving the same impact, pero yung effort, no, sorry, you're giving more impact because you're reaching more people. And at the same time, yung effort mo is lesser because instead of repeating the same presentation again and again, it's already recorded, and look at the time that you save and the value, the impact that it's giving. So
Mhm,
kaya I think it's also my good side yung COVID because people are like allergic online. And when COVID
mhm,
hit, like they had no choice but to go online. Just imagine this. I was doing seminars. Um, I was also jumping from city to city. Well, I was doing that because I really loved what I do. So parang feeling ko, like speaking for me is like a passion talaga. Um, and if I would say na, okay, let's have a Zoom meeting or let's have a training online, they don't get it. It seems like
mhm,
it's not something or a vehicle that people would consider. So that's the reason why I had to travel because they don't get it if you meet online. I even
mm,
sent a message to my friend, "Oy
mm,
bro, um let's meet." Ito yung Zoom. Ay,
mm.
ano kasi kami, old school kasi kami. And they would have to
Right.
wait for me to go to Manila for us to meet. Like, why don't we just meet, video call or
Mm,
what? So yeah, parang it's really my good side in a way na so everything that happens really has a bad and good side, and
mhm,
we want to look at the good side, which is like just everyone just was forced to do online. Hindi lang as a producer but also consumers. So if you
mhm,
notice when COVID happened, our cost per lead dropped in half, our show up rates doubled, our conversions increased, like you know, because of those things. So yeah,
nice, nice. And I think what you mentioned, no, about with Chinky and you parang being able to speak one to many, no, without really having to travel, it speaks well dun sa next part ng question natin, no? Kasi you have this thing called Tycoon Manifesto. And
yeah,
one line in particular, no, caught my attention. And it says, I don't sell to my clients. I let the sales process do the selling. And I think that's a huge mindset shift, no? And
yeah,
maybe people watching this might have a hard time wrapping their brains around it, no? Kasi when I read that, parang it took me aback as well. No? That made me really think what you meant. No? Let me absorb it first. Ano ba tong sinasabi ni Fibo? But kaya what
yeah.
does it mean? Can you tell us more about this particular line?
Yeah. So let me share with you a story now when I was doing network marketing. Grabe yung experience ko sa MLM. I really did not regret it. I really did not regret all my failures because mas na-appreciate ko kasi yung anong meron ko ngayon because of that. Okay, so ano to? I was going to coffee shops and just selling to them, you know? I was just waiting for people to pass by, waiting for a jeepney and just selling to them. And you think sabihin natin target mo, you just want to talk to 10 prospects a day. Sige. But what happens kasi is, you go to prospect number 1, you get rejected. You go to prospect number 2, you get rejected. You go to prospect number 3, you get rejected. What do you think your energy would look like sa prospect number 4? Of course, it's gonna be negative. You would want to quit. You would want to, even if you're gonna say, I'm not gonna quit, but yung energy mo, yung vibe mo is, you're not gonna be happy, of course. So, I realized the business kasi is the number one key why business owners give up. It's because they're emotional of what's happening in the business. So for example, that's why sinasabi ko na business is this is my belief na it's not for everyone because it's only for people who are willing to go up and down. Yung iba kasi they just want a flat line, different personalities kasi per person, no? Others kasi they just want a flat parang stable lang talaga. So usually mag-fit sila talaga sa corporate world. Pero business kasi has ups and downs. Like, let's say ngayon, times 10 yung income mo. After the next 5 months, wala kang income. After the next 2 months, double your income. After the next 4 months, wala na namang income. So, the reason why I share that, it's because if I connect it to selling, if ikaw, mano-mano ka nagsiselling, your energy for every prospect would be different because it will be dependent on your previous na prospect. So, sabihin natin, minura ka sa previous na prospect mo. Okay? What would happen to your next prospect? So, parang gusto mo, you just want to finish it for the sake lang of hitting your quota. However, instead of you just manually selling it, if you let a sales process, a system do the selling, hindi iiyak yung funnel mo, hindi iiyak yung sales process mo, hindi iiyak yung website mo. And that for me is a major shift because ngayon, you're now detaching yourself from the business. You're looking at a bigger perspective na meron ka ng robot. Okay? Because a sales process is just basically like an agent. It's a salesperson. But etong salesperson na to, okay, ikaw pa rin to, pero hindi ka na nare-reject. Yung nire-reject yung computer na lang. Okay, and that works because you have an email, follow-up sequence, you have a landing page, you have a sales page, you have a sales video, right? So that is the sales process. And I'm transplanting that to my, or sharing that to my audience to let them understand, guys, if you want to succeed online, you have to remove yourself out of the business, let the robots, let the sales process do the selling, because your goal is to parang yung big picture overview, yung vision ng business, not to act as if like you're in the rat race, working the same thing over and over and over again. So yun yung ibig ko sabihin na I don't sell to my clients, I let my sales process do the selling.
Right. What will you say, Fibo, for somebody that might be watching this and iniisip nila, this might be too good to be true. Like, aren't you, if you're not selling directly in person, aren't you taking away from that sales process na, syempre, iba yung may kausap ang human. Iba, can a robot, kumbaga, replicate that connection, that sense of support, sense of trust that is originally, can be created through an in-person conversation?
Right. So, eto, yung in-person conversation is different talaga from online. Okay? If an in-person, let's say, for every 5 people, you can close 1 person. Okay? So online, you would have lesser conversions. Kumbaga, sa 5 na yon, possible wala. Maybe for 1 sale, you would have to get 20 prospects from that. So kumbaga, sa in-person, 5 prospects, 1 sale. Kung sa online, 20 prospects, 1 sale. Parang ganon. So, and here's the reason why it's like that. It's because people buy because of emotions. People buy because of the experience. So if I'm talking with you right now, one-on-one, in person, there's a lot of factors why you would buy. Siyempre, mahihiya ka. mahirapan ka paano mag-no. And also, you traveled 1 hour just to meet with me, tapos uuwi ka lang, tapos mag-no ka. So, because of that, kumbaga, if you think of it, parang na-warm up yung prospect ba? Parang niluluto mo kasi nag-travel siya ng 1 oras just to meet with you eh. Tapos uuwi pa siya ng 1 hour. So yung commitment level niya just to meet with you is high. That's why higher yung closing rate mo. And higher yung experience kasi you're talking with that person personally. Unlike online, all they have to do is just click X and they can just leave, right? So for sure, your conversions will drop sa online. However, ito yung meron sa online na hindi mo ma-achieve din sa offline at yung scale mo. Okay? Because sa offline, you cannot talk to 100 prospects. So online, I can talk to 1,000 prospects per second without me being there. So sa akin, okay lang sa akin if I have lower conversions, as long as I'm not involved, I am out, I can just sleep and make a sale because I'm not doing the work na. It's now the sales process doing the selling. So you might be thinking, di ba too good to be true? If you think of it, may disadvantage. Totoo. Yung disadvantage, lower yung closing. Mas konti na lang binibili. Pero ngayon, I can entertain 1,000 prospects per second for this. You cannot do that online. I'm sorry, offline. Yun.
Yeah, that's an excellent answer. Kasi nga, if it's too perfect, di ba, parang may yung doubt ng tao nandyan eh. But at the same time, you explained it well na parang, it's not necessarily a replacement na 1:1, no? You're sacrificing higher conversion, but ang kapalit nun is volume, automation, di ba? And you are replicating the connection. It will take a bit longer in terms of time na shorten pag in person. But at the same time, the trade-off is you can be more hands-off with it, no?
Yep.
Having said that, with regard to, so somebody watching this might be thinking, okay, okay yung sales process, but it might be siguro just an idea, a concept right now. So maybe we can put more meat on the bone. And maybe, for example, for somebody in the financial advisor space, no? Which is a very, of course, very hands-on, very important on trust dito sa industry na to. So, since nagka-pandemic, everybody was forced to go virtual. So, if you can walk us through, how would you translate the in-person meeting and how would a digital version of that look like?
Right. So, actually, yung online version, similar lang naman yung concepts offline. Like, how you do it offline, yung concepts is similar online. So offline kasi, what do you do ba? Do you just approach a person and just, oh, do you want to buy my insurance? Do that? No, usually you schedule an appointment with this person. Once you jump on a coffee with this person, what do you do? Do you open your ito insurance plan? No, you talk muna, kumusta? What do you do? Diba? So if you're noticing, you're building rapport, you're building connection, a relationship with this person first before actually opening up your insurance plan, your offer, whatever you're offering. No, I'll just relate this to parang financial advisors because parang this is a I've also parang heard na possible po to for financial advisors, and let me share with you how it's possible. Especially yung financial advisors have parang different packages. Hindi kasi yan MLM na merong bronze, silver, gold yun na lang. Yung financial advisor kasi depende kasi yan sa expenses mo, depende sa goals mo, di ba? So there's no a one size fit all offer for financial advisors. I wanna use this as an example kasi matatama naman ng Latin industries nito. So ganito. So again, let's backtrack and look at the offline again, di ba? Makipag-build muna tayo ng rapport, makipag-create muna tayo ng relationship, makapag-usap, kwentuhan muna bago natin i-offer yung yung insurance plan natin and customize, no? So online, we're still doing that. When we want to build this rapport, we want to build this connection with our audience, with this prospect, especially etong prospect natin doesn't know who we are yet. Okay? Now, meron pa rin customization. Yung customization dyan is they will be jumping on a Zoom call with you and you will be closing them via Zoom. Okay? However, okay, listen to this. You do not jump a call with every single prospect. Okay? Yung jumping on a call with a prospect to give this, kailangan kasi to jump on a call kasi I have to know your expenses, I have to know your goals, I have to know your financial plans, etc. So that's something na you cannot take away because para kang bumibili ng ng condo without visiting the place, right? And without visiting that location ever. So if you get what I mean. So, merong mga parts na hindi mo talaga ma-remove, and that's one of those, to have that conversation. Kaya lang, you should not jump on a call with every single prospect, okay? Especially sa online. Okay? Here's the reason why. Because possible yung prospect na yan, hindi pa naluto. You only want to jump on a conversation, on a call with a prospect na you are like 90% sure na ma-close mo siya. So, how is it possible na 90% close mo siya? Ang mangyayari doon is yung before na sales, yung before the call, what happens ba? That only happens na mataas yung closing rate mo if you've established yourself na meron kang authority, credibility, and celebrity status. Okay, so you should position yourself as an authority, celebrity, credibility na may kumbaga credible ka. Kumbaga, before ka nakipag-zoom sa kanya, nakipag-coffee sa kanya sa Zoom, no? Kilala na yung prospect sa'yo. Okay, that way, mas makikinig sila. That way, they are more likely to buy because you've already built a prior relationship. Ito yung maganda. Because sa offline, you have to do 1,000 coffee talks with people. So online, if you just get their email address, you put it in your email list with one click of a button, you're like having 1,000 coffee talks in just one click of a button. So, ngayon, you're talking to a lot of people, one to many, and having that coffee shop, having that coffee talk. So that's why it's very funny because I met a subscriber. Ito nakakatawa because it was like years ago. I had like 500 people on my list during that time, and I was just testing it out pa. So I didn't have a name. No, one sec. I think that was the first time. I think that was the first time na parang I had my name on it. Okay, and then parang 500 subscribers yung ano. Basta, what happened was, someone approached me and sabi niya, ikaw ba si Fibo? Sabi ko, oh yes, bakit? Ay, nag-subscribe ako sa email mo, I received your email. Like, sabi ko, oh, this guy knows me. Like, I'm a celebrity now. And then, it's funny because feeling niya, we have already met before. You know? And like, I don't even know this person. Like, oh, like, dun ko na, like, that's why I continue doing email. I continue doing follow-up. I continue building a list and building a relationship with the clients because I was able to experience that na nag-i-email lang ako, hindi ko kilala sinong sinisendan ko ng email, but this guy knows me like we've been friends for a long time. Right? So, and I'm sure if I just send an email, offer him or her a product, mas mataas yung chances na bibili sila because they have warm market na sila. They already trust and like me already. So, ayun.
Nice, nice. I would also akin, like, I'm a big email guy as well. And I would akin yung email list as parang, you're a public speaker. So, parang it's like speaking on stage. Na if they see you in the inbox, nakita na yung name mo, it's akin to seeing somebody on stage na may mic. Na parang automatically, by default, our brain thinks authority. Like, this is somebody we should listen to. Because I've experienced na I would feature somebody na nag-reply sa email ko. Hey, by the way, si Jeff nag-reply sa akin kahapon, ito yung tanong niya. Tapos sinagot ko yung tanong niya sa email. Then Jeff would reply sa email na kinote ko siya. Sabi niya, uy, Coach Alan, na-feature ako sa email mo, sikat na ako. May ganun. So it's like I pulled him on stage. Parang ganun yung lumabas. And siguro that's where I can relate with what you said about kumbaga the celebrity and authority, you know, with regard to having that list. And siguro just to clarify for people that perhaps baka medyo foreign pa yung, say, the funnel or email list, no?
Yeah.
So in terms of translating yung in-person, say, as a financial advisor to virtual, one of the methods would be to get them to subscribe to your newsletter. And kumbaga, yung gagawin mo supposedly with the person na magko-coffee kayo, mag-usap kayo, magsisikahan kayo, you can replicate that by writing automated emails, no? Na once mag-join sila, magsisend yung email. Yun na yung sabi mo nga, you can send emails na yun na yung coffee mo with 1,000 people. And
Yep.
these are regular emails that you would send that would build your authority. Siyempre, pag speaker ka on stage, you're giving value. Nabibuild lalo yung authority mo. And
Yeah.
each email that you send stacks one over the other. From authority, nagiging celebrity ka. And if you do that, pag nag-alok ka, hey, I have some free slots to do personal finance consultation na free. 4 slots lang for next week. Here's the link. Much more likely na mag-uunahan yung tao to book that. And by the time you go on a Zoom call, that's yung, correct me if I'm wrong, dun yung papasok yung parang 90% close na sila. Kasi
Yep.
when they see you, hindi ka na agent eh. Di ba? Authority ka na. Yung positioning mo, the way you come across is different. Would that be an accurate depiction of how we translate yung in-person sa digital?
Right, correct. And also, I just want to add one more sales process. I would suggest before you jump on a call with them, meron silang application form. They fill out the
Mm.
form, ano yung financial goals nila, ano yung expenses nila, whatsoever. And the purpose of this is, I want to compare. So offline kasi, your prospects are limited to your eyes. Kumbaga, kung anong, yun yung sabi ng upline ko, ano yung makikita mo, prospect mo yan. Okay? Because limited lang sa mata mo. Sa online kasi, your prospects are limited in one click of a button. That means you can reach millions of people. And because of that, you don't want to talk to everyone. You want to only talk to qualified people na. Okay? Para hindi sayang yung oras mo. So, kumbaga, that's why it's called a funnel. Okay? Kasi sa simula, medyo marami pang tao. As they go through down your sales process, kumukonti, hanggang sa pinakadulo, you only have 10 people that you can talk. Yung 10 people na yun na kakausapin mo, very high closing rate na yun kasi qualified people na sila. So, yung advantage dyan, it's not a waste of your time. Because if yung concern mo is wala kang leads, okay, hindi yung problem online. Yung problem mo online, ng sobrang daming leads, pero hindi sila qualified. So kaya you're creating the sales process because we have a lot of leads, but we want to qualify them so we can only spend time to the people who are most likely to buy na.
Great, great. And I think yung just adding that application shifts yung power dynamics eh. Because I've spoken with plenty of sales professionals as well na yun yung challenge na booking a meeting with somebody, i-bend mo yung buhay mo to meet them at a certain time. So I have a friend na kailangan kalad ka rin pa yung wife niya kasi Sunday lang available yung
Yeah,
prospect. So he had to go there. Tapos hindi pa sisipat yung prospect.
right.
So by doing this, 'di ba? You're giving them yung time na available ka and you're making them apply to get it. And if you can see if by the time umabot kayo sa Zoom, talagang ang dami na niyang pinagdaanan just to
Yep,
meet you. And the chances of converting that is pretty high. No, great, great. So
correct.
I think that helps parang give a visual, no? Well, some concrete examples, no, for people to chew on. Now, I'd like to ask you this. What's yung number one misconception or myth that Filipinos have when it comes to selling online?
Do you know what it is? Sabi nila, ay, hindi yan para sa akin kasi hindi ako techie. Okay. I want to answer this because when I got started online, I thought this was the thing that would make me successful. It's being techie. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? You need to have an idea, parang basic idea lang of how to do it, but you don't need to be good at it, okay? In fact, if you ask my team, I'm most probably one of the weakest or pinaka slow in terms of tech, okay, in my team. Um, and I'm proud to share that. It's because I'm happy na hindi ako techie because if I would have been techie, I would not have been successful ngayon. Okay, here's the reason why. Yun nga, may kasama ako, mga friends, techie sila. So that's all they did. They were studying, uh, tweaking this button, changing this color, how do we pop up this countdown timer and do all these crazy things. But what really mattered was not how beautiful your website is, if marunong ka ba mag-create ng website. What really mattered is how do you deliver your message. Ito yung tanong ko. Kung paano and how you deliver your message. Kailangan ka ba ng tech doon? Okay. Hindi mo kailangan ng tech. It's just you talking to your audience. Because a lot of people, they know how to build this crazy marketing sales process, but they cannot convert them into a buyer. That's why if you notice, a lot of companies have websites. Ganito na lang, I want to share with you. During my calls, I have Tuesday calls kasi weekly. People come up to me, sabi nila, oy, my company has already a marketing funnel, meron na silang website, and all I have to do is just send traffic to this website. Without looking at their website, the number one thing that I will tell them na I'm sure it's not gonna work. Their website will not work. Okay, do you know why? Because yung website nila, ginawa ng isang programmer or coder or website designer or website person. Pero yung website person is not a marketer. That means, when you look at it, maganda siya. But when you drive audience, visitors to that website, it doesn't mean that they're gonna buy. It just looks beautiful. Iba yung marketer. Yung marketer kasi knows how to deliver the message correctly. Okay, that's what I share to them a lot of times. And as a marketer, the more design that you put there, the more it distracts your audience. So if you notice, it's like the opposite of being more techy. It's how you really succeed online. It's really delivering the message. Anong message to? Number one, what are the challenges of your audience? Number two, what are the desires? What is the pleasure that they want? Okay. Number three, how do you solve that problem? How do you help them? Because there's only two ways why people buy your product. Number one, it moves them away from pain. Number two, it moves them toward pleasure. So how does your product move them away from pain or move them towards pleasure? That's it. That's it. And my students right now are killing it online because we taught them on how to market online without being techy. Before, I thought need ng website. So, yun yung tinuro ko before. I need this landing page, you need this, whatever. Ngayon, all they need is a Facebook page. That's it. All they need is a Facebook page. That's it. And an ad account. Run ads. Let your audience send you a message. And then, boom, that's it. Because technically, once they send you a message, tapos yung response mo, it's more, let's say you send them a video. Hindi ka techy, di ba? Send mo lang YouTube video mo. Create ka ng sales video. Yung sales video mo, it solves their problem. Again, you explain to them how your product moves them away from pain, moves them towards pleasure. They're gonna buy it. That's really it. It is better nga if you can deliver that in a way na hindi complex yung technical things. And here's the reason why. The more complex kasi, it looks good on paper. Kaya lang, maraming problems yan. Masisira ito, mababaliw ka. Okay, I've tried that before. Maraming masisira. Sobrang ganda. Kaya when my students share na, ito yung create sila ng messenger automation. Okay, if this person clicks this one, it will go to here. If this person does not click after 24 hours, it goes to this. Sabi ko, like, scratch that. I just want you to make a linear way. Why? Because one of those will break. And if it breaks, you don't know what it is. You have to backtrack every single flow and it's gonna blow your mind. So, yun. That's really the number one misconception na I need to be techy. The number one skill you need to acquire in online marketing is you know how to market the message of your product, the problems it is solving, and the desires it's helping your audience get.
Great. So, I just want to recap lang, no? Kasi I think there's plenty to unpack there, no? Firstly, siguro yung most recent one you mentioned, you don't even have to have a website. So, for you, even this sales process, what you're talking about, you just have to have a Facebook page so that you can run ads, and maybe that ads would get people to raise their hand. And once they raise their hand, they comment, you lead them to a sales page or even a simple YouTube video to move the conversation.
Yeah, I'll show you what the simple, guys, when I say sales funnel or sales process, hindi kailang website. It's just a step-by-step parang road na plan na pagdadaanan ng clients mo. Okay, number one, your client sees your ad. Number two, your clients click on your ad. Number three, your clients send a message. Number four, their clients watch a video, they receive a video, for example. Number 5, their clients inquire. So that's already a sales process. So what I teach is run ads. I have a complex one, but we have kasi courses for super duper beginners, like talagang
Right.
no idea. So like, create a page, run ads, let them send you a message. So yun muna, very, very basic. Now you're gonna notice yung questions repetitive in nature. So what you do, i-video mo na, record mo na a video. So now, when they send you a message, you send them a video link, papanoorin nilang video wherein 90% ng mga questions nila na answer na doon, magtatanong na lang sila, how to pay, how to buy. Now it's like 80% automated because hindi ka na magmano-mano warm up sa kanila. Hindi ka na magmano-mano build a relationship. Hindi ka na magmano-mano break an objection, magmano-manong answer the same question over and over and over again because you've already explained that in a sales video, in a picture, for example,
Right.
and yung question na lang nila is how to buy, right? So yun.
Great. That's amazing. With regard to, you mentioned about yung messaging, no? Just siguro, para lang mag-gets ng tao in terms, going back to the website, no? You mentioned na may pretty website and may effective website. So just for
Right.
them to picture, kasi I'm sure, okay, they might see a pretty website.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that? When they, yung ano yung nakita mo sa isang tingin na hindi siya magko-convert versus kung nakita mo yung isang, versus one that's effective, what is the difference? Ano yung hinahanap mo?
Okay. So a typical website is just like any website, any company website, like you go to Nike or Jollibee or whatever, that's a typical website. And yung typical website, it's used for branding lang. You know, yun din yung information mo, it looks good, no? Kaya lang, it does not convert a prospect into a paying customer. It's just a brochure, okay? So you know na it's not gonna work because it has a lot of links, it has a lot of buttons. There's home, about us, contact us, whatever. And there's like 10 different links that redirects to everywhere. And the reason why it doesn't work because walang direction yung website. It's just a brochure. Walang direction kung saan papunta. Kaya lang, a sales process, when you have a website, there's only one button one or two buttons, but that one or two button leads only to one direction. Okay, so for example, yung every page kasi ng sales process has only one goal. Yung website, it has 50 goals. Okay, so that's why it doesn't work. So for example, if yung goal mo is to capture a person's information details, yun lang yung trabaho niya. It does not sell the product. It does not explain what the product is about. All it has to do is just to get a person's information by giving out a lead magnet, giving out something for free. Okay, another page. Let's say yung page na to is a sales page. Ano yung trabaho yung sales page? The goal of the sales page is to sell the product. That's it. Okay? Now, next page, payment page. Anong trabaho ng payment page? It's to let them pay. It's to get them to pay. So ano yung lalagyan dito? Payment details, how to pay, etc. Okay? Ano pa ba? So, every sa website or sa sales process, every page, every website, there's only one goal. And it leads them to the next goal, to the next goal, to the next goal, hanggang it becomes closer for them to paying. Okay? So ito yung typical sales process. First is you capture a person's contact information. So it's like parang seeing a very beautiful girl, you go to that girl and say na, uy, of course, before you ask their number, you wanna buy her a drink. Uy, can I buy you a drink? And then you ask her number, diba? So the chances of you getting her number is higher because you've already provided value first. Okay, that's why you're giving away a free thing. Okay, so you're giving away a free thing in exchange for their contact information. Okay, after that, what's next? Maybe the next page is you want to thank them. Okay, you want to thank you for hope to see you soon. So that is what we call a thank you page. Okay, and after that, you want to build a relationship with them through email, through messenger, whatever. And then maybe you're selling something, selling sales page. You want them to pay, payment page. You want them to thank them, thank you page. So if you notice, there's only one
Right.
goal for each page.
Great,
Yun.
great. So it goes back kasi yung purpose natin with the sales process, diba? If the
Yeah.
company that's consulting you expect to make sales from that website, hindi siya optimized to do that. Kung gusto mo branding, their website is perfect. But if you're
Yep.
looking for a sales process, it has to be very specific and may, kumbaga very intentional yung mga pages natin. May kanya-kanyang purpose.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
We have a question from one of our subscribers, si Jeff. He was asking
Sure.
if you would repeat today the A to Z process of you achieving yung 2 Comma Club Award, which says that you have, which is given to anyone who generate $1 million in their funnel. What would you differently to speed up your process?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so what took me a long time siguro was I was testing almost every single sales process. So let me share with you. I tried a product launch funnel. I tried a challenge funnel. I tried a free plus shipping offer. I tried, anything that you can think of. Okay. So
Right.
I tried all of those application funnel. And then what really uh, brought a massive breakthrough was the webinar funnel. Yun yung that what hit me for the two Kamakla boards, the webinar sales process. So siguro what took me a lot of time was just testing out different sales processes. And also one more thing as well is identifying the problems of my audience and also what audience resonate with me the most. Okay. Because I would just want to backtrack a little bit. So start kasi, the truth is I just wanted to become a speaker. So this is a good story for me to share because I don't share this a lot. After I made my first million online, I basically like retired because I already have like a million or more. No. And back then I was 22 years old and my living expenses was like below 10,000 per month. So if you compute that, I would live for years. Right? Because I'm a saver and hindi ako mahilig sa mga expenses and stuff. So I can live for a long time. Okay, with 10,000 a month na living expenses or less, no? And I told myself, now what would I do? What would I be doing na I'm willing to do even if I'm not getting paid? And that for me was I want to become a speaker because nung walang-wala pa ako, speakers really changed my life, you know, financial speakers, business speakers. Sabi ko, I also want to give back and be able to impact lives naman. So, I applied to schools. I applied to mga corporate businesses, and they asked for my resume. They asked for my experience, and my experience is I have no experience in speaking. So they did not hire me. No one cared to hire me. And so what I did is, since I know how to run ads, I did my own event. I hired myself. So I am the speaker. I am the event organizer. I'm the salesperson there. I am the person arranging the chairs. I'm the person giving out the IDs. I'm the person everything. Ako lahat doon. And yun, I run ads. Okay, I want to share this story. The first time that I did that is only one person registered for the event. So sabi ko, this is not gonna work. And since this person paid like a registration fee, sabi ko, bro, I'll just refund your registration because I created an excuse. Sabi ko, like, my conflicts of schedule. I didn't want to tell him na siya lang yung isa yung nag-register. Para hindi ako ma-embarrass. Right. I told him na my conflicts of schedule. And sabi niya, no bro, I can wait. Just keep it there. Let me know once the next seminar. And like, oh shoot, I can't. How can I refund this person by not telling him na siya lang only? Anyways, so I was forced to do a second seminar. I tweaked my sales process, and thank God, like 80 people registered for that event and showed up. So that was my first event, and I literally like cried because like, oh, I'm now a speaker now. But if you think of it, it's very funny because I was the one arranging the shares. 1 p.m. yung event, pumunta. I forgot what time. 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Basta somewhere there. After the event, pumunta ako sa SM ng umaga. Ako nag-arrange yung chairs. Ako naglilinis. Ako yung nag-arrange sa ganito. And then after the event, ako na naman nag-prepare sa whatever. So it's kind of funny. Bakit ba ako napunta doon? One sec. Wait lang. But, the question was about to okay, let's continue with that. So, um, so that's how my journey started as a speaker. It's really my gusto ko lang talaga. I'm not doing it for me to get paid. I'm doing it because it's just something I'm willing to do even if I'm not getting paid. And yun, I tested a lot of things in this process, etc. And yun, na-discover ko na magaling ako sa presentation, sa webinars. So, I'm trying to answer the question in a way na ma-please yung audience, but I'm happy na na-experience ko yung lahat. I tested a lot of things process because it allowed me to learn. Kumaga, alam ko na parang may different routes. You have like 10 routes. And I could have said na if I could go back again, I would take route number 1 and not take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm not going to say that because I'm happy I took all those routes because alam ko what it feels like to take that route. Parang ganun. So, yeah, I hope that answers the question. No? But I would not really do anything differently. Because I'm happy to know na I failed during those times. What I'm happy with naman, what I'm really proud of is I invested in education first more than anything. So to share with you a story, I invested in the mastermind ni Peng June. That was $30,000. If you compute mo, that's 1.5 million. But think of it this way: I don't have a car yet. I don't have a house yet. Diba? Most people who has $1 million, they buy a car, they buy a house. I didn't buy any of those. I invested that in education. So that's really the one thing people have been asking me, may shortcut ba sa success? Sabi ko, oh, instead of learning it by yourself, learn it from someone else. So if you're asking me like what made it so fast, because I didn't learn by myself. I before I enter into something, I will find someone who I can learn from. And then Alan is one of those. If you don't know the story, I want to share this as well. I've been following Alan for a long time. And I was new to marketing. I was like, oh, who's this Alan guy? He tops the TRC. He tops whatever. Like, how can I follow him? Like, I'm not good in email. Like, never mind. So one day, he was talking sa Wealth Summit ba yun? Wealth Summit.
Yeah, I think so.
And nakapag-attend ako ng Wealth Summit. But when I saw Alan's face there, like, I have to attend. So I did attend that. And number one reason why I wanted to attend was I wanted to meet Alan. And he talked for a few minutes. And I was now happy because I saw Alan. And I secretly, parang, tumabi ako sa kanya na, kunyari, hindi ako fan. Parang tumbi lang ako like, I don't know, I forgot my line. Basta like, hey bro, and I took a picture and then, but you know what, Alan is so, parang hindi ko ma-explain yung personality mo. Like, you're so friendly. Hindi ko ma-explain. Like, you don't know who I am, but you were so friendly, like you acted as if, like we're friends. but yeah. Alan was one of those people that I was also following, in terms of email, in terms of selling as well. But yeah, I think did I answer the question or ano?
Yeah. Let me tie it up for you. Like you mentioned you try different funnels. Kasi the question is what if you would repeat today, if you were to start again, knowing what you know now, how would you get into Comma Club faster? And I think you explained it well. Now you try different funnels and you ended up with webinar funnel because from your experience, from your background, one of the things that built you up, yung foundation mo, is you really wanted to be a public speaker.
Correct.
And yung sa hirap mo of doing it by yourself, it honed your skill set na that translate. I mean, all the funnels naman na trinay mo, somebody succeeded in them. Right?
Yep.
It's just that your background, the way you're built, the way you're wired, the way your desires manifested into the webinar funnel. And siguro for Jeff who asked this, I'd bet that of course if you were to start and reach that goal again, you'd double down on webinar funnels. Having
Correct.
said that, siguro, I don't know if you'd agree, but I say that this is an it's always a learning experience. Who knows
Yeah.
that there might be a better way than
Yeah.
webinar funnels in the future. And I bet that you try that as well. And that might be the
Yeah.
better one. So
Right.
it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing learning. And siguro, just to be, kumbaga, baka kasi may mag-isip na, uy, dapat webinar funnel na ako.
Yeah.
It's a personal journey as well, no? This business and this processes. And something you mentioned about yung sa kay Peng Jun nga, like you attended, that was surprising for me that you mentioned that you invested that money. Wala ka pang car, wala ka pang house. Because that's the usual
Yeah.
assumption, di ba? These are the must-haves. Then I would
Yeah.
imagine, sobrang nakuha mo na lahat yun. May excess ka pang 1.5. Then you went to Peng Jun. And it came as a surprise for me and your dedication to do that. And it was like a mindset shift for me as well. And I remember you from the Wealth Summit.
Mm.
And you were with somebody, di ba? Later on I found the story between the two of you, but I remember you, and it was a nice moment, no? Unlike you, I'm not a public speaker talaga. Hindi yun yung drive ko. So parang just anyone approaching me, parang, uy, this is new. So it's parang a moment that I cherish, no? And I remember vividly that moment sa may likod pa kayo nun eh, di ba? I was back there as well. So that's cool, that's cool. And I didn't know the full backstory behind that. So I commend you for ano, I mean, dedication to learn, no? And I think somebody if you're watching this until now, I commend you as well. So this is comprehensive interview. So if you're still here, kudos to you, no? And siguro one last question for
Yeah.
you, bro. Asked plenty of questions, but I believe that there's that one question that you probably wish people ask you more about growing your online business. Maybe sa dami ng interview na puntahan mo, daming Q&A. What's the one thing that you wish people would ask you?
Yeah. I love this question because only like 0.00001% ask me this question, but this is the most important question in any business. How do I grow my lifetime value of my customer? So that is for me the most important question that people don't ask. Okay. And because I don't understand, but my students now understand it. I share them kasi na there's, for you to grow a business, you only need two numbers. The first number, how much does it cost to acquire a customer? How much are you paying for ads to get one customer? The second number is how much is a customer worth? How much is the value of the customer? Okay, what do I mean by lifetime value, by the way? Sabihin natin, kumain ka sa restaurant, okay? And let's sabihin natin kumikita ka ng 100 pesos every time I eat. So, if it's my first time to eat, 100 pesos lifetime value. If I ate there 100 times, that's 100 pesos times 100. If I ate there for 1,000 times, that's 100 pesos times 1,000. So if you notice, the lifetime value of each customer grows over time. Okay. So why is this important? This is important because if you know the value of the customer, you know how much you can spend on ads. Okay. A lot of people are far too focused on lowering their cost per acquisition. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Far too many people are saying na, uy, yung cost per lead ko is 40. How can I get it down to 35? And then from 35, how can I get down to 30? And this is a good thing. No, this is a good thing if you're a startup muna or like you're still getting started. But this is not a good thing when you want to grow your business. Here's the reason why. Because when you spend on ads, the more you spend on ads kasi, naturally, yung cost per acquisition would increase. Okay? For example, ako dati, nag-start ako ng ads, 50 pesos lang. Okay? I was so happy, 50 pesos, it produced me, 10 times result. Like, whoa, this is insane. And then, naging 100, naging 1,000 yung ads ko. Bakit bumababa na yung, yung returns? And then, yun yung hindi ko mag-gets and have been figuring out for years. And in the past few months, we were spending like 100,000 per day in ads, both YouTube and Facebook ads. And not everyone can do that. It's because they don't understand their numbers. They don't know their numbers. Okay. Now, That's why, ako, when I talk to an advertiser, I measure the skill of an advertiser based on the ad spend. Kasi more ad spend means better skill for the entrepreneur, whatever, advertiser, etc. Because if you're able to, ito kasi sabi ni Dan Kennedy, the person who the person who can spend the most in advertising wins. Okay, so for example, let's say business A and business B. If business A spends 10,000 in advertising and business B spends 5,000 in advertising, in the long term, mananalo talaga si business A. Correct? Why? Because business A can reach more people rather than business B. Okay? Now, you can only spend more if mataas yung lifetime value ng customer mo. For example, let's say, business, again, business A, 10,000 yung ad spend, business B, 5,000. Pero yung value ng customer, kumbaga kikita sila, okay? Si business A, 20,000. Si business B, kikita lang siya ng 5,000 for every customer. So ngayon, si business A is spending 10,000 but he's making 20,000 back. Si business B is spending 5,000 but he's only making 5,000 back. So if you notice, business A will really win in the long term because mataas yung value ng customer niya. So that means, number one, he can spend more in advertising and kill his competition. Number two is, even if he spends more, he still makes money. Because in the long term, cost of advertising will naturally increase, and instead of just finding ways on how to keep lowering it again and again, because that is like a rat race, we keep on doing that, find ways on how to increase the lifetime value through upsells, through adding more offers, through basically that's really it. Like, for example, if you notice McDonald's, diba? If you buy a burger, they upsell you fries, they upsell you Coke. If you notice Apple, I started with buying an iPhone and then an iPad and then a MacBook and then an iMac and then an AirPod and then like I just bought everything. Okay? And those are upsells. So ngayon, I'm just one customer, but the value that they get from me is high. So that means now they can spend in ads and break even on the first month, and the rest are pure profit. So if you understand that, like you're just gonna win in business, because I've seen a lot of people spend in ads and they say, oh, it's not gonna work, it's a scam, I didn't make any money. I spent 5,000 in ads, I made 5,000 back, I didn't make any money. And then I look at their sales process, I look at their business. For example, take Tess. Tess, yung lifetime value ng ano niya, she has a common center, traditional business, 800 students. Yung lifetime value ng customer niya is 23 million over 5 years. So even if you know that, you don't care if you're gonna break even in the first month, because over time, that's pure profit. And when you understand that, you're gonna win in marketing.
Great. Just one quick question. How did it reach yung 23 million? Is it because recurring sila? Like once they're part of her school, they will enroll again and again. So
yeah. Yung common kasi, meron kasi yan levels. So for example, math, may level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So yung isang tao, over 5 years, if mag-enroll kasi siya, parang may first semester, second semester, parang ganun. So kaya tumataas yung lifetime value niya.
Right. So just to parang quickly recap what you said, it's very important. I'll go back to your example sa Apple. No, kasi the common problem that you mentioned nga, gusto nila pababain yung expense natin, yung cost per lead, no? But if you understand your numbers, like for example, Apple spent $50 to acquire you to buy your first small Apple product. Then eventually, bumili ka ng laptop, kung ano nung device, iPad. Eventually, say you spend, say, $2,000 with Apple. So they spent $50 to acquire you. You made sales for them of $2,000. So kung cost per lead, they could go as high as $2,000 to acquire you. Okay lang sa kanila, kumbaga, theoretically. So kumbaga, In fact, hindi nila natatakot na paliitin because they know their numbers. They're willing to go higher to beat the competition. And hindi sila matatakot. Kasi pag blindly sabihin mo, you'll spend $1,000 to acquire a lead. Kakabahan ka. But if you know that that lead will be worth 2,000, okay, kaya sa budget, hindi ka kakabahan. So it's understanding those numbers will make you a better entrepreneur, better decision maker. It- does that um, summarize it properly, bro?
Yeah, correct, correct.
All right.
Um, and also would like to add na lowering your cost per acquisition is a short-term game kasi
Mm,
naturally over time, tumataas talaga siya. Like as you spend more in ads,
right.
your cost per acquisition just increases. Like that's normal and I didn't know that that was normal.
Mm.
I spent my entire time just lowering it again and again.
Mm.
Um, so it's normal na tataas talaga yung cost mo kung tataas yung ad spend mo.
Right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Bro, I think we extracted a lot from your brain. But
Yeah.
if we have audience who wants to get more out of you or learn from you, how can they reach you and how can they learn more?
Yeah. You can just follow me on my social media, Fibo Lim, just search that on YouTube. I regularly post content in my YouTube content in my YouTube channel and also Facebook. I post contents there, but most of all, I would like to invite you to my upcoming training, no, where we're going to be having a 3-part webinar live training. This is the first time that I'm going to do this, and it's the first time na I'll be revealing a lot of stories and information that I have not shared to the public as well. And I do not know when I'll be doing this again. So I hope you can come. The link is digitalsolopreneur.com/BGM. So I hope Alan will just post that somewhere. Digitalsolopreneur.com/BGM. So that's the link that you will have to go to register for that. By the way, seats are limited because the software it's gonna be a live training, guys. It's gonna be a live training. Seats are limited because of Zoom. We have no choice, but may limit talaga si Zoom. So please register as soon as possible. It's a free training. Thank Alan later. You're gonna love it. Promise. I've prepared this a lot of time. Let me discuss with you a little bit of what I'll be sharing. I'll be sharing 3 things, no? In business kasi, in businesses that I've consulted, it's either of those 3 things lang yung nasisira. Okay, number 1 is creating an offer, but not just any offer, but an irresistible offer where your audience will feel stupid if they say no. Okay? Number 2 is a sales process. Not just any sales process, but an automated sales process where it can sell for you 24/7 even if you're on vacation. And number 3 is how to get visitors, okay, to visit your sales process, but not just any visitors, visitors that are quality. Ibig sabihin nito, they are both willing and able to buy your product. That way, you're not just selling your product to just anyone. You're selling your product to people who has the financial capacity to buy and also who has the willingness to buy as well. I'll be diving in deeper in each one of those things in my upcoming training. So register through the link that Alan will be giving you somewhere in the comment section or above um, this video.
Right. We'll make sure to link to everything, so Fibo socials and to that training. And yeah, do this for yourself. I think this is a rare opportunity and it's a way for you to elevate your game, especially during the pandemic, because we're gonna have to live with the pandemic for quite a while. And we don't
Yeah.
have to be scared about it. And Fibo is giving an opportunity for you to thrive in this situation. And yeah, I think there's nothing left to be said. Sign up there and definitely learn from this guy. No, so yeah, thank you very much, Fibo, for your time, for your sharing, and we'll do this soon.
Thank you, Alan. God bless you.